again, I've seen him 3 days. He's probably going to show me some more things for sure. I don't know. Can he play some point? I don't know. Everybody says they think so. We'll see. He did it for his team a bunch. And like I say, he was fearless going that hole. But he's the kind of young man we want in this program. Guys you can build with, guys you want as foundation guys. And if you can get those guys from the state of Kentucky, then you get the best of both worlds. Like I've said many times, we want guys from Kentucky because they're just from Kentucky. We want guys from Kentucky good enough to help us compete for championships. I think we got 2 of those guys this year.
How much practice time do you get in preparation for Costa Rica?
Get 10 days, that's the invaluable part of it. Those 10 days, and naturally in July, we'll start in July. Probably get 6 days in July and probably 4 days in August. Naturally they're not quite the same as they are in October. I mean, there's not going to be quite the, knockdown, drag out. But we'll practice. And us figuring out, valuable part of these trips, I've had them a couple times, is you don't have to figure out when you start playing in November, you start playing and start having to make adjustments in what you're doing. You have that opportunity to play in summertime, so you can go into October, you've already got a few adjustments in your mind, some guys, some things you think they can do, they can't do, or some things they can do you didn't know about. So it helps you as you prepare going into that practice. That's the invaluable part. And for this bunch, it's more invaluable just the togetherness, the newness. I don't know if that's a word or not. Is newness a word? Is that a word? Newness? Is that a word, Chad? Okay, newness of his team. That would be invaluable for us.
Coach, kind of talking about that newness.
What's your name?
My name's Dalton.
Where are you from, Dalton?
I'm actually from Bowling Green. I'm with WKU.
Okay.
So talking about that newness, you got a lot of.
So it is a word, so you used it, so I won't be the only one, okay?
Got no question that you got a lot of talent. A lot of these new guys are going to be filling big minutes. What is the key to transitioning those guys from being individuals and coming here and meshing together as a team?
That's the challenge of it. I think the first thing in doing it all is you got good people. If you got good people, that process is a lot easier. I think we have good people. Uncle Lamar, first thing every attending the press conference you always do is turn off the phone. But having good people first off. Then you got to be able to get people to, not play roles. Most important part is getting people to accept roles. And everybody's different. His roles are going to be different. And the key to good teams are always this. Everybody's good 1 through 5. Everybody wants to be a starter. The key to championship teams and good successful teams is 6, 7, 8, and 9. How do those guys who want to be starters not just play their role, but accept those roles? Because those minutes are coming off the bench, where it's 12, where it's 15, where it's 18 minutes a game, those are the guys that win you championships right there. And that's your challenge with the team. And again, right now, what we got? We have 5, we have 5 freshmen, is that correct? We have 5. The bottom line is this: 2 transfers, only 2 guys. They played valuable minutes. Then we have the 1 guy, and Bearden has played 2 years. Outside that, everybody's new. That's what it is. So it's a learning curve for everybody. Which is good. Some of those guys don't know any difference. And I like that. They don't know what a bad habit is in practice. They don't know what is acceptable in practice. What's bad is when you have guys practice for 3 years one way and you come in and try to change what's not acceptable. That's when it's tougher. These young guys, they're not going to know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. That's good, and I like it.
Well, I feel pretty good about you guys are getting to a point where we're going for it. You're not going to have to take a bunch of 10-member signing classes, 12-member signing classes, kind of start to stabilize things.
Well, Brad, hey, that's the whole key. I mean, and y'all know this. I've never said anything about anything, what the program was or anything. I'm always going to say the positive things, and always going to, try to find the positive things in your program and your team. But, looking back on things, I kept things in perspective. totally. I understood if we weren't able to grab 3 fifth-year guys last year late, where would we have been? Where would this thing been? So as good or bad as some of those guys weren't, I still kept it in perspective. They weren't what I needed in every one of them. But if we hadn't have got them, what was out there? How bad would it have been? Well, we put a Band-Aid on it. I said we duct taped it. But because of duct taping last year some, it carries over this year a little bit because you lose those guys with experience, and there's some seniors on the team, and other guys you take off videos just not good enough. And I'll be honest with you, it's a learning curve for me, videos. I never had to recruit a guy off video in my life till last year. That's why I understand why those models and those books look so good and those clothes look good on that model, and you get those clothes, they don't look the same when you're wearing them sometimes. Not you, but some other people. That's kind of like ordering off those tapes. When you get things, man, I've learned them videos, they can make a guy, never had that experience because I always was able to watch kids play. And a little bit of a learning curve with this class right here. I'm used to watching guys play as juniors and seniors and really spending time with them and evaluating and, for the most part, not having too many mistakes. But when you're still trying to grab some things, we don't have a chance to spend as much time recruiting guys, watching them all play. And when you have them try to sign 10 or 12 guys, it's tough. Recruiting, you've got to get continuity in your recruiting. You got to get some rhythm. Good programs do this. Unless you're going to go out and get 7 new McDonald's All-Americans every year, it don't matter then. We're not going to do that. You got to have some seniors, and you got to have some either freshmen or sophomores. When those guys leave, you got other guys ready to step up. That's what your good programs do. You can't be reloading every year and teaching a whole new bunch, everything you're doing. You got to let your program teach them. And that's what I had all my career. I lose guys. I brought guys in and put them in there. My program brought the kids along. Right now, we're not at that point. But we've made progress? Yes. Hopefully next year now, we don't need but 4 guys. If you look, you got 2 fifth-year guys. And whoever else is seniors, there ain't no seniors, is there? No other seniors, right? But I said 4 anyway. We're going to keep getting better and keep adding to it. But having good 4 guys versus 12 guys, it's a huge difference. Now you spend more time with those guys you're recruiting. You get them at an earlier age. I'm used to recruiting guys as juniors and getting them done between their junior and senior year. Those guys no one knows anything about, and they find out about them in either that summer they start watching them play. Said, man, how'd they get that kid? I can go back and give you can go down my rosters through the years. I can go over and over and over. D-Boss, I'm going to give you the first example. Got him out of North Carolina, got him committed to me, got him to camp going into his senior year. That summer, North Carolina came in on him. Didn't know anything about him. But he stuck with his commitment to us. But those kind of guys you got to get, and you got to have the opportunity to spend time with those juniors. I'm not at that point yet. I'm still behind. At least this April, I was able to go out and see all the Kentucky kids. In April, 2 weekends we were allowed to go out. Last year,
2018.
Upcoming seniors, I was able to see them all. Last year, I saw 0. I knew nothing about them in April. I wasn't able to go see any seniors until July. Hollingsworth was probably my first one, but now at least I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. I know where those best players are in Kentucky. I like to be able to recruit the best ones going into their junior years, and we'll make progress with that. We'll head that way, and I'll be able to get a junior done before he's a senior, and everybody will ask, where'd he come from? How'd you get him? That's the ones we got to have right there. I want those guys, everybody's saying, how'd you get him? Because those guys who's supposed to be here, we don't want those guys. We want those guys, everybody look up and say, how'd you get him? Where'd he come from? Those are guys we want. And you got to evaluate them early in their careers, and you got to project them. Like I say, recruiting's no science. You can't recruit them what they are. You got to recruit them what they're going to be. And that's a hard thing sometimes, but the more time you can spend around them at an earlier age, the less mistakes you make. Evaluating that heart, that character, that family life, and their work ethic, because that's what's going to determine how they're going to become. If you can get one's got talent too with all that, then you get something special.
Haven't asked you about Reed Nelson yet.
He's a kid that, excuse me.
Is he calling you?
No, we got camp going on, so make sure the ice cream machine didn't run out. He's a kid we took late. We needed numbers. We needed some players. Saw him in April. Didn't know anything about him. Went to watch him play, and, great athlete. Good skill, not great. Off the chart student, off the chart character, off the chart work ethic. And you try to then project that and get to know him some. Then you realize what a great family he had. Most of the time you can trace it back to their family, looking at that transcript, most of the time. And then you try to figure out how you project this young man a little bit, then a little bit of everybody try to jump in on him.